I got 2 words for you.
G-Code.
Hi guys, welcome back. This is Chico's podcast. It's Deshaun, and normally Cortez is with me, but he's a little indisposed tonight. So we're looking at this Smackdown. They just did one last Friday, 9/18, if you're checking the date. And it was pretty good. It's been a solid show for the past couple of weeks. And as most casual fans or even diehards know, it's been better than Raw for a while now. Long while. Long while. Not sure what writers they're using or what, but whatever they're doing is working, and they just seem to have the upper hand on Raw, and I don't really see that going away anytime soon. Maybe it's the group they got, the guys they got to work with. Maybe it's the writers. Maybe Vince has less input on that show. Maybe it's more Triple H. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. But open up the show again. That Thunderdome interest is like whack. Like it's lame to me. Like even for like Thunder and Lightning, it comes off soft and just not very like there's something that just comes off as like lacking. I feel like the old WCW Thunder one was better. Anyway, Clash of Champions is coming up this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, or next week rather. And I'm just wondering, like another pay-per-view that soon? Like it's just. I mean, we were just off Payback, and then Payback was only a week from whatever the last one was. It's slipping my mind now because there's been so many. But I feel like they're just running them like back to back now, like UFC events. I thought we'd get a little more time in between with the stories, especially when they kind of started doing the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns angle. But I don't know. I feel like they might have some plan for Roman, and they just kind of want to hit this one real quick. But we'll see what happens. All right, so it opens up with the Dirt Sheet, Miz and Morrison. They're great together, but I don't know. Some of me is getting a little tired of this act. I mean, no, it's funny at times, but no, they have, like I said, they had their moments like Morrison. He said, he's the most important part of your balanced breakfast, and I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, did he just tell us to eat a dick? Just say it loud for the people in the back. I'm just trying to make sure I'm clear on that. And so, of course, they've been going back and forth with Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery, Mandy Rose, and of course, Miz being the superstar he is, he pulled some strings and got her traded to Raw. Which, according to the dirt sheets, for lack of a better term, they really just moved her because they had nothing better to do with her. Which, I mean, she's cool. I think she was more eye candy than anything. Me personally, I've always preferred Sonya Deville. Looks and ring wise. I mean, it's just me and my preference. I feel like she has more to offer and more to work with as far as like talent, athletic ability. I mean, nothing from Mandy Rose, but it never clicked with me. I always liked Deville better. But, she's going to be off TV for a while until the whole legal issue with the stalkers is kind of resolved and put to bed. So who knows when we'll see her back. And I keep looking at Otis, and I love the guy. I do. Like I said, great baby face. He's funny. Anytime I've seen him like outside of the ring on, up, down, down, or anywhere on Twitch with those guys, he's always like, funny. He's genuine. Like he's like definitely like a likable guy. I could definitely see why they want to use him and feature him in some role. Like he's too likable, lovable of a guy to be left off camera and not be given anything to work with, which I get that. I'm all for it. I'm not coming around on him being, with the money in the bank and, possibly being the world champion right now. And it's namely because of his finisher. I mean, the act too, but I could tolerate the heavy machinery gimmick or whatever, but that finisher. And like I said, he added the Vader bomb to it. I'm glad it needed something. I mean, even The Rock with the people's elbow, like he made that work because people were so into him at the time. But even still, he still had the rock bottom. The caterpillars just ain't gonna cut it. It's just not gonna work at all, and they need to do something. I don't know if he needs to get rid of it or he just needs to keep it for like excitement or something. I don't know. But again, I just can't I'm having until that's resolved and it's either done away with or we only see it, every once in a while. Like I find it kind of hard to buy him as a champ right now. So Miz and Morrison are, going through talking their junk, and here comes Otis. Beats up Miz, tosses Morrison over the ropes, drags Miz back in, strips him down to his tighty whities. And they run backstage. And then, of course, Miz is like, that was all part of my plan. Which, I don't know, bro. Real life, man, I find that kind of hard to believe. Me getting beat down and stripped my underwear was never part of my plan. Any plan I come up with. It's just, I feel like if that's the best plan I got, I need another plan. It's just, that ain't going to work, bro. But, it comes into play later on. We'll touch on that in a second. It comes up again. And it makes sense in the context of what happens next, but still not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. And I love The Miz. He's great. He's a great asshole. Like just him, I look at him and Randy Orton the same in that aspect. They are the greatest assholes WWE ever put on TV. Aside from The Rock, but he's kind of come and gone at this point. All right, next up was Grand Metalik and Cesaro, and like I said, I love seeing underutilized acts and talent get some camera time and some kind of shine. So I'm always for when they put Lucha House Party on TV. I'd like to see them win a little more to give them so I could actually take them seriously when I see them come to the ring and not just expect them to lose in anywhere from 30 seconds to 3-minute matches, but. Until then, I can't, like I said, I can't take them serious, but they seem to be getting some sort of story at this point. The guys are very lightly and gingerly butting heads over, tactics. Kalisto's been gone for a while. He comes back. He's all ripped as he can be. Lince Dorado, he's been there. He kind of feels like he has a better grasp on what Metalik needs to do for his match with Cesaro. They butt heads just a little. Nothing, to the level of Bayley and Sasha, but, nothing to make you think he's going to bust them with a chair later, but they butt heads nonetheless. And it's coming up later. And again, like I said, it's been hard. It's going to be hard to take them seriously. This storyline is definitely going to have to be something that progresses and, not get dropped in the next week or two with no payoff, no resolution whatsoever, which WWE is known to do. They will do that very quickly. They will drop it, act like it never happened, buried in the desert somewhere with those E.T. Atari games. So they're out there with Cesaro, and then it hits me. They're in the tag title picture right now. And like I said, again, I love seeing the guys. They're great in the ring. Nothing against them, but the way they've been used and the fact that they're now in the title picture shows you how weak the division is. Injuries with Kofi, Xavier Woods kind of took New Day out. Injuries to Jimmy Uso kind of took him out. The bar broke up, so you got Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura still coming. Speaking of which, I wonder if they're going to kind of fall back with Sami Zayn or not. Maybe they'll help him win the belt at Clash of Champions. I don't know. It'd be a nice little twist. It'd be nice to see them all together with some gold. But anyways, to get back on track, tag division is a little thin on both brands. I've been constantly saying they need to just merge the divisions already, but we'll see how it goes. They probably won't, but it'd be nice. But I can understand why they won't. Again, though, that just lets you know how weak the division's gotten. If Lucha House Party is kind of the de facto number one contender right now. So we'll see what happens with that. And they're out there. I love Shinsuke Nakamura, by the way. The guy's he has this weird factor, but it's cool. It's like he's just kind of he's one of the guys. He does his own thing, and you just kind of you get into it. It looks a little goofy at first, but it works. It just works. It's like nobody else could come out and do the weird hand motions and make the little corny, jokes that he makes and not be booed out of the building. It's just him. I don't think anyone else has that factor about him. So I love the guy. I love seeing him. I'd like to see more of him in the ring. Like I said, I mean, it's great he's with Cesaro and got something to do with the tag titles, but it's never a bad thing to see Shinsuke Nakamura on TV. Just throwing that out there. So the match is going, and announcers say that Lucha House Party has seen a lot of success while Kalisto was going. I'm like, bitch, where? Where? When? What was I? I've been watching week in and week out. When I see them, they're getting their asses dusted. So I really don't know. I mean, I guess they threw the line out there just for the sake of the story, but like, don't act like people haven't been watching. Like, come on, please. Don't act like that we hadn't been watching and seen them get their asses whooped every time they come out. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, that's the way you guys present them. Like, don't look back on it now and regret it because you need them and you need them to have some credibility. But that's the position you put yourselves in. That's why you don't like shit on all the talent. You never know when you'll need somebody. Anywho, so match is going, and again, like I said, they finally gave him storyline. So they're button heads, and Lince Dorado and Kalisto get sent into the back. Cool. That leads to Grandma the League getting distracted, getting hit from behind by Cesaro. Gotch neutralizer. He cranks the neck. 1, 2, 3. It's a wrap. Cool. We're going into Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And again, I love this storyline for the fact that nobody saw it coming, but I love it feels like the real life little brother, big brother dynamic. And I think that's something everybody can relate to. And again, I say this a lot better works. It's something, like I said, it's something everybody can relate to, whether you're the big brother with the little brother or you're the little brother with the big brother. You can, most people can relate to that. And I feel like the best storylines from WWE lately have been ones that reflect things that people deal with in everyday life, and that they allow the guys to have real reactions to. Like, I can believe that Roman Reigns feels like he's the kind of head of the family at this point, as far as the wrestling careers are concerned, and maybe even, financially, real life, patriarch, however that wants to work out. With the next generation of the Anawahis, I could see him feeling like he's the leader, being the forefront of WWE, the most successful, their obvious biggest star. So I could see him in real life feeling like he's the tribal chief. And, kind of feeling that, he's got to be there to take care of everybody else and make sure they stay out of trouble. Because, the Usos with their legal issues here and there, I'm pretty sure he's either went to bat for him or he's always around to kind of keep them out of trouble and keep their heads on straight. So like I said, I can buy into this and see this storyline having some real deal basis. So those are the ones that always works for me. Next up is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Still not buying Nikki has a chance to beat Bailey unless Sasha or even Alexa comes in and interferes. So we'll see. And they're talking, and then the whole time I'm like, just go ahead and put her with the Fiend already. Give me the Joker and Harley Quinn. Quit teasing me. Just hurry up. Hurry up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see it. I'm here for it. I'm waiting for it. Do it. We got nothing but time. We still quarantined. Everyone's still home for the most part. Okay, so segment ends with a fight against Lacey Evans. She comes out, and then she hits her one time, and all of a sudden Michael Cole is yelling, "We got a match." They got a match coming up. I was like, so I don't know if I missed it. Maybe was the match already scheduled, or was he just jumping the gun because he knew what the program was going to call for anyway, what booking had put in place? I don't know. I'm jury's out on that one as far as I know. I didn't go back and watch to figure out. I was just wondering. So match is going. I love Nikki Cross as a character. I think she's gotten a bit goofy and, kind of a long way from where she was with Sanity in NXT. And when she first came on the main roster, when she was more of a heel than a baby face, she's gotten a little goofy for my taste, but it's cool. And she's, she's decent in the ring, and she's a little different, which is always great. But I don't think about it. She has some of the worst punches, male, female, bar none. Some of the worst punches I've seen. They're forearms. She never hits the face. It's always right in the chest. Like there's too much. I think she's like, I feel like she's thinking too hard about it. But at the same time, I'm not a trained wrestler. I don't know what she's thinking or what the issue is. I know I just don't like them. What are you gonna do? But that was always my issue with her. I never liked the punches, and I hate the fact that she uses a neck breaker as a finisher. I hate anyone using a neck breaker as a finisher. To me, it's because the neck breaker, like everyone does a neck breaker in a match. It's like the super kick to me, as far as holds go. Like it's like the super kick. Everybody does it. It never wins the match. So when someone wins a match with a neck breaker, it feels weird now at this point. You know? Like I don't know how else to put it. It just feels weird. It feels wrong. It feels like something's lacking. And usually it's because at least I feel it's usually because they don't have a finisher picked out yet or something in mind. So they just kind of, default. It's like you create a new character. The neck breaker is the first finisher they give you until you put some more money into the guy. There's some more time in. So we'll see. Hopefully she gets another finisher soon. I hope anything, like any almost anything would be better than a neck breaker. Because like I said, I always like the ones that you can do to anybody. And that was always some of the best finishers. But like I said, I don't see her going against Nia Jax and hitting her with the neck breaker while she dangles her from the top rope. It's just that ain't gonna happen. So like I said, she needs something better. So match is going. Spray. I love the fact they said she sprayed sanitizer in the face, but it had no effect. Like they could have gave it something, like you literally got alcohol rubbed in the face. It was obvious that it was just water or a very watered down solution, whatever it was, because she wasn't blinded, eyes didn't burn. There was nothing. It's like, okay, you guys are killing me. And I blame this more on Nikki Cross. Like, had the wherewithal to just sell it, even for a second. No, just for a second. Just come on. It'll go so far for the match itself and the quality of it. But she didn't. She also didn't sell the arm either. I mean, Lacey Evans spent the better part of like 5 to like 8 minutes, like just working the arm in various ways. And the minute it was time for Nikki to come back and, do her thing and close the match out, that arm was just fine. I was like, well, damn, like come on, think. Like, I mean, she's been wrestling for a while now. Like, how hard is it to sell an arm injury, even if you know you're gonna win, it's time to go home or what have you? Like, how hard is it to sell an arm injury? Like, I say it's the little things these like guys do that just kills it for me sometimes. Like I said, I like Nikki, but and she's got some work to do. So match is over. Lacey Evans crawling around outside, and she's yelling back and forth with Alexa Bliss. And then she says something about go get the Fiend or go back to the Fiend. And then Bliss goes into her dark place. And I love it. I love that there's a trigger. I wish it was a little more inconspicuous than just saying the name of the Fiend. But, I'll take what I can get when it comes to this. I just want to hurry up and pair them together. So I'm not going to complain and, bitch and moan too much about what the word could be. I mean, that's minute at this point. So she says that, and Bliss hits her with a Sister Abigail, and her Sister Abigail looks better than Bray Wyatt's to me. I don't know. I mean, like, as long as he's been doing it, I've never been a huge fan of the move. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I guess it's just like it's one of those moves like it takes too much cooperation, I guess, to like be believable for me. Like again, some of my moves, my favorite finishers are ones that you can hit on anyone. 2, you don't necessarily need a whole lot of like obvious cooperation. Like of course with Stone Cold, when he hits the stunner, they're gonna come down with him and hold him and make sure they don't shatter their teeth and their jaw or whatnot. Same time with Shawn Michaels with the super kick and sweet chin music, they're gonna fall back when the boot hits. Even Triple H with the pedigree. When he hooks the hands and, he's doing the work, they flatten out for him. Jeff Hardy and the Swanton Bomb, they position themselves. They, brace themselves a little bit, let him hit it. It's cool. But, Jeff Hardy and the Swanton Bomb, they're not putting him on the top rope. They're not helping him up to the top rope and then falling back down and laying there and waiting on him. I mean, I kind of feel like that's what you get with the Fiend. Like, he's holding them. They're sitting there dangling. He kisses the forehead, and then bam. But there was something about the way she did it. I had to go back and watch. I can't put my finger on it. Something about the way she did it, I rock with it so much. Like, and again, she's already doing it better than him, and it's only her second time hitting it on TV. So I mean, he's got some work to do. All right, so after that, there's another vignette. Paul Heyman does like a great narration of the history of the Anoa'i family, going all the way back to Peter Maivia up to The Rock, Jey Usos, Roman Reigns, and it was great. I love the vignettes, especially with Paul Heyman in the back. He can make anything feel special and feel important. And, get your attention. That's great talent. Great talent for anybody to have, especially in his position. So I was loving the vignette, and then it just made me wish that we'd have got more of a heel group out of it. Let Roman be the champ, put the belts on the Usos, and then make them his bodyguards. Let them go back to, their Uso Penitentiary Hill gimmick, all black, hat low. Let them beat the fuck out of some people. Like, just let it go. Let it happen. Let it happen. I wish we'd have got that Hill group out of it. But, again, I'm loving the storyline, so I'm not going to complain. And, maybe that was the direction they were going to go. But then, Jimmy with his knee injury, I don't know when he'll be back. So it's cool. I'll take what I can get. When they're doing things right and doing things that are like, I try not to complain too much. I don't want to be that guy that, that's constantly like moving the goal line and, never satisfied type of fan. So I'm going to take what I can get on that one. All right. So back to Bayley and Sasha Banks. Sasha's talking, she's trying to convey that emotion of feeling hurt and, feeling betrayed by Bayley and how she's going to, get the title of Bayley. It's all going good. And, I was wondering, I was like, I feel like this should have been more of a like WrestleMania payoff, but obviously I don't know if they can. I don't think they can stretch this out to WrestleMania. I don't know if they may try how they could do it. I do not know. I don't see it stretching out until next April. I mean, but stranger things have happened. I mean, the Nuggets came back from being down 3-1, so if they can do that, they can make this last to WrestleMania in April. But we'll see. I wish it was, but we'll see how long this goes. And like I said, I'm okay with this angle right now. So Sasha comes back. She's got the neck brace on. She keeps touching it. Great. I love the continuity. I love, like, if you get your neck hurt in the 2 weeks ago, still be in a brace when you come back. I mentioned on an earlier episode, I didn't know if she would stick with it or not, or how that would play out, but I'm glad they stuck with it and kept with the continuity. Like, that helps with the story. Bayley being a bastard, she comes in, hits her in the back with a chair, and was threatening to smash her neck again before being pulled off. Cool. I like that. Not a whole lot of back and forth with the talking. Good. I'm good with that. All right. Next up, AJ Styles and Sami Zayn. Number one, I love Sami Zayn. Number two, he should never shut up. He should never stop talking. He should always be allowed to just like continuously talk throughout the match. The guy's great. And I think he's at his best when he can talk shit. Like, I never thought he would be a great heel coming off. He's such a natural baby face. But I couldn't see him. I'm assuming he could because he was so good at it, but I can't see him going back to being a babyface at this point. Like, maybe it's because it's been so long since I've seen it, but he's been such a great heel, and I think he's another guy. He's a great asshole. Like, it's been well documented that behind the scenes, he's more of an asshole because he's more of a perfectionist and like very meticulous. So he would like drive people crazy, even with the planning of matches. He was driving people crazy. And, when he knows he's right about something, he knows he's right. And he will let you know that he knows he's right. So he's kind of got that reputation. And I think it comes across as a heel, like great as him as a heel. So, like I said, keep it going. Never shut up, ever. And so the match is going. He's in there with AJ Styles. And I think it's great that, he looks rusty in the ring. Like, he comes in, things are a little shaky. He's not dominating the match right off the bat, which makes sense. Again, like, my favorite thing about wrestling is when they have continuity. He's been gone roughly 6 months. So, of course, he should be rusty. He shouldn't come back and just dominate anybody, let alone, like, one of the, like, highest regarded pro wrestlers on the planet right now in AJ Styles. So he should struggle some. And good. Like I said, let it be a struggle. Let him work for it. So they're going, and like I said, I realized I missed him while he was going. Like there was a big void left on the hillside. Like I wasn't a huge fan of what he was doing with Shinsuke and Cesaro at the time, but it was still something I paid attention to whenever he came on. And I love the fact that he comes back. He looks like a freedom fighter. For what country and what freedom he's fighting for, I don't know, people, but he looks like a freedom fighter to me. I could see it. Maybe it's the camo pants, maybe it's the crazy hair with the cap on, but he looks like a freedom fighter. I could see him somewhere in the desert or somewhere in the woods somewhere with, no shirt and an assault rifle strapped to his back. And he looks like that guy you meet at the end of in the apocalypse. He's somewhere in the woods with his gun and his knife and probably a dog, and he's surviving. But and he kind of looks like a mix. It's like Mick Foley, Hacksaw, and Terry Funk. Like physically, that's kind of the mold he's in right now. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, that's what I got from him when I looked at him. Foley, Hacksaw, Terry Funk. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's fight about it. So in the end, AJ out-cheated Sami Zayn. Caught him with tights after Zayn attempted that on him. Great finish. Match is over. He still wants to be declared the Intercontinental Champion belt, which truthfully he never lost, so I can't blame him. In the midst of that, he's attacked, but they're both attacked by Jeff Hardy. Jeff comes out, starts whooping ass, grabs the ladder, and bam, boom, we get a triple threat ladder match at Clash of Champions, which I think everybody in their mama knew that we were gonna get a triple threat match out of them for the title. I assume it was Jeff's idea to do a ladder match. I get a little nervous watching Jeff Hardy now. I do. I love the guy. Don't ever need to see him again in the ring. I got my memories. Respect him as a wrestler. He's done great. His personal story has always been great too. Him and his brother. I feel the same way about him. I don't need to see him anymore. There's nothing they can do to make me love them any more than I already do. There's nothing. So I could be cool with them hanging it up right now. Like I don't know there's any hills left for them to climb. I can't think of any. And again, it makes me nervous to see him because it's kind of like to the lesser extent when I used to watch Ric Flair wrestle when he was in 60s and late 50s, early to mid 60s, however old he was back in like the Evolution days, early Raw and stuff. I get nervous. I got nervous every time he took a body drop because I thought that was gonna be the last one, and I didn't want anything to happen to Nature Boy. That's kind of how I feel about Jeff Hardy. I feel like any bump he takes now is probably gonna put him on the shelf for a few months. Not that he's shown himself to be that injury prone, but I just feel like all the damage he's done and all the bumps, I just feel like it's all going to catch up with him. So I kind of just want him to get out now and be, good and, like relatively healthy. But he keeps coming back and he keeps grabbing ladders. So I don't know. The guy's not hearing me. Jeff, if you hear me, bro, it's cool. You good. Hang it up. There's not a problem. All right. So comes out and I knew it was gonna come up again. Otis is being sued by the Miz, and the Miz wants his Money in the Bank contract. We're gonna see what happens with that. Not a fan of this so far. He's like, "Oh, I'm in trouble." How are you in trouble, bro? Tell him to come get it. Like, let's be real about it. But let's see where they go with this. So far, I'm not a big fan of it. I love Otis, but I don't know. Like I said, get him a new finisher. But he's a great babyface already. Cut to the back. Show's getting ready to wrap up. We see Sheamus and Corbin talking. They're getting ready for the Samoan street fight. Okay, how many versions of a street fight can we have? Like, how is this Samoan street fight any different from another one? Unless you go to fucking the island of Samoa and the ring is surrounded by 100 Samoans, there's no real difference. They could have just called it a street fight. If you're not going to add anything special to it, like, don't give it a special name. People, like, come on. Like, that's basic to me. But anywho, I'm not a booker. But so the cut to the back, Corbin, Sheamus are talking. The same guy comes up. We're going to call him Larry, and you'll see why. So Larry comes up. He's talking. He's the guy that set Big E up and helped Sheamus last week. So he tells Sheamus his car is getting towed. He comes out. There's Big E there, and he's putting in work. Sheamus runs, though. So Big E gets his hands on the security guy, says, "I'm gonna call you Larry," and proceeds to pretty much ram his head into every solid object he could find. And I liked it. I like I said, I love the more serious Big E, the vengeful version. That's the thing with these like baby faces in WWE. They take too much like shit. So he's like, "No, you fucked with me last week. I'm coming back," and I like that. Don't need to. It didn't need to be anything more than that. So he puts him through the roof of the car, locks him in the trunk, walks off, threatens to get his hands on Sheamus. Cool. Now I'm excited to see them go back and do it again. Two big guys, bumping meat in the ring. All right. So last up, we got the Samoan street fight coming, which again, guys, come on with the names. Anywho, and I'm wondering too, I'm like, is Big E going to interfere? If there's running with Sheamus, I would like to see him run in and do something, but at the same time, I feel like that would just convolute the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso storyline. Maybe I'm thinking a bit too much about it, but I would love to see Big E come in and get a piece of Sheamus, but we'll see if it happens. Match is going. I love the Corbin entrance where he's been, carried on his throne, but I feel like that was one of those things that needs to be reserved and saved. And it shouldn't. It just you shouldn't be getting carried out on weekly TV like that. Like make it special. Leave it for the pay-per-views. Leave it for SummerSlam and WrestleMania. The big ones. The big ones. But you can't get carried out every week. No, that gets a little old. Like I said, I loved it because the first time it came out, it was a pay-per-view. It felt special. It felt exciting. It was new. I've seen it 5 weeks in a row now. I'm good on it. Don't ruin it for me. Don't just walk on out if it's SmackDown or Raw. All right, so match is going. It is what it is. It's a brawl. No rules. Tornado tag. Everybody's in the ring. So couple spots here and there. Things look good. Uso gets hit with a deep six on the outside. Roman gets thrown in the ring after having a chair thrown in his face, which after what happened with Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, I don't know if anyone should be throwing chairs, but they did it. Nobody got their head split open. So it is what it is. So match is going. And at one point during the match, Reigns is laid out outside. Jay's in the ring. He gets caught in a powerbomb position by Corbin and Sheamus. Table set up behind him. He gets slammed through the table and kicks out at 2. Kicks out at 2. So tables ain't shit anymore, apparently. Or maybe that's what made the Samoan street fight special. I don't know. But he gets slammed through a table and it's just he kicks out at 2. I was like, at least let Roman come in and break up the pin or something. Like he just killed the table for me. And like if anybody else gets put through a table and can't get up, all of a sudden, okay, so you must be weak. Because I just saw a guy get his back slammed out through a table last week. He kicked out at 2 and got the pin later on in the match. What's your issue? What's your malfunction? So again, they killed the table. Maybe they can bring it back, but the Dudleys are somewhere losing their fucking minds right now. All right, so and after that, Roman Reigns hit Sheamus with a Samoan drop on the announce table. Table didn't break. Not sure if that was intentional. Didn't look like it. I mean, they did good, to not break in action to keep things going after that. But yeah, I thought the table was supposed to break when you got damn near 400 pounds, or probably about 500 between 2 of them. 500 pounds like coming down on the table. But I think it had a lot to do with the angle. Like, because when Roman does a Samoan drop, he never quite like flattens him out. It's more of like they kind of land on their like hip for whatever reason. Maybe that's the easier way to take the move. I don't know, but they always land on the hip and they never land flat. So it never looks as good to me. Like I'm not a huge fan of Roman Reigns and his Samoan drop, or the Usos for that matter. All right, so of course Jay and Roman get the win. Jay comes in with the splash, damn near hits Roman after he speared Corbin, and he just barely gets out of the way, and he's looking at him like he's crazy, and I kind of like that. I don't know how if that's gonna come into play at all in between now and Clash of Champions, but the fact that Jay was like willing to like splash on his ass too, just to get the win, kind of lets him know how seriously he's taking it right now, and maybe make him a little nervous, maybe to make him a little crazier. I don't know, but I liked it. And of course, the one thing everybody's talking about, that face at the end was fucking awesome. It was. They're smiling, they're happy. Jay jokes with him about the belt. We all know Roman doesn't play about that belt. You can joke about a lot of things, but don't touch that man's belt right now. That's just it's not what you're gonna do. So he does that, and then Roman's still smiling. He tells him, "I love you." You can see him mouthing the words. They say some other things, and then Jay gets out of the ring. He's all smiles, and then Roman gives him the death stare, the death of 1,000 suns. I mean, good God, he was gonna rip every hair out of this guy's head. Like I was nervous for him, and I loved it. Best facials I've seen from Roman Reigns since he got in WWE. And that was the show. And they closed it out, and like I said, it was a great show. I think SmackDown just kind of like found what works for them, and they're running with it. They're not deviating too much. There's still some guys I would love to see get more TV time. Namely, we got Shorty G, Chad Gable. I would love to see him get a little more TV time, but work him in somewhere. I would have loved to see him have more of a sort of Buddy Murphy role when it came to like Corbin and Sheamus when they had their issues a few weeks back, but for whatever reason they didn't go with it, so here we are. But I'd love to see a couple other guys get some shine. And so overall, I give this show like a solid 8.5. Like it was a great show. Then no real lag in action. Things made sense. There was continuity in a lot of places, and not in some. Nikki Cross looking at you, but overall, great show. I can rock with it. This is why I love SmackDown. All right, guys. If you're listening, follow us anywhere. Like and subscribe the video on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Twitter. We live tweets. We live tweet during MMA. UFC Vegas is going on. WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown live. NXT, we do live tweets, so we're always looking to connect and engage with people. And I love talking wrestling. I could do it all day. Like I said, like us, like and subscribe on YouTube. We do reviews Monday and Friday for our Raw and SmackDown. We may change that soon. And again, guys, have a great night. Bye.